Hello, my name is Michelle, and today I want to talk about how you can detox your life from toxic or narcissistic people starting today. Okay, we're in a new year, and I know everyone is familiar with that saying that they attribute to Albert Einstein. I'm not sure if he's the one that said it, but the saying is insanity means doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? So if we've had toxic people in our lives for a very long time and they've been affecting us for a very long time and we're not changing certain things, guess what? It would be insane to expect that anything different will change. But we're going to change something really drastic right now. We're going to detox from toxic people. And the way we do that is we really start taking an inventory of who we have close association with. And when I say this, I'm talking about people at work, I'm talking about friends, significant others, and family members. Okay, we're gonna put them into categories of toxic, not sure, and people that are healthy, that give us reciprocal, loving, energetic relationships. If you watch to the end of the video, I'm going to give you tips on how to change certain things towards those individuals that you cannot completely discard. People that still have to be in your life for whatever reason, right? There's tons of reasons and no one can judge for whatever reason these people are still in your life. But I'm going to give you tips on how you can handle it differently so that it doesn't affect you the way it did last year or how it's been affecting you in previous years. You're going to want one of these so that you can start making that inventory, okay? So what I'm going to do, and what I hope you do as well, is write down everyone that is in your life that you have continual close contact with, whether it's on the phone or in person, but people that are in your life, okay? You can pause the video or you can do it as I'm talking, whatever works best for you, but make sure you write down the list of people in your life.
Yep, he's definitely first on this list. Who else? Wait a second. How do I really feel about this person? Do they give me energy? Does it feel good to be around her? How do I feel afterward? Is it reciprocal? Yeah, she goes in the healthy pile. I don't know about this one. It's like we just met recently. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we didn't connect, but I'll give it some time. Yeah, no, I think I know where this one's supposed to go.
Do that with everyone that is in your life. People that give you reciprocal relationships. People that feel good to be around. That every time you're with them, you feel good. You feel energized. You feel lifted up. Those are the people that this year you want to make an effort to spend time with, to do things with, to connect with, to call, to keep in touch with. That way, you are giving your energy to relationships that give you energy as well, as opposed to chasing people that don't ever reciprocate what you give to them. Okay, so that's the first way that we can begin changing this year, is investing our time in people that we enjoy being around, people that help us to feel good about ourselves just by being around them. For those individuals that you're not sure about, right? Because sometimes it's unclear. Sometimes we don't know a person well enough. And I know that with myself, sometimes it's the people that I think I'm not going to be close to in the beginning. Like I get that first gut reaction from them. Sometimes those are the ones that I wind up super close with. And the people that I thought I was going to be close to, I find I'm not as close as I thought I was going to be to them. So for those that you're not sure about, with these individuals, start checking in with yourself. rather than trying to see if they like you, which is a tendency that a lot of us have if that people pleasing comes up, right? We're trying to see if these people like us, or we're trying to make them happy. Rather than doing that, ask yourself, do I like them? What do I like about them? How do I feel about them? Spend time with them, and once you start to realize which pile they should be in, the pile that of people that you want to be with, or the pile of people that you realize are not good for you, then you can decide, right? But at least take the time to see how it feels to be around them. For the individuals that are in your pile that you know are toxic, these are people that never allow you to feel good about yourself. It's more draining than anything to be around them. These are the people you either want to completely go no contact with, because why would you want to be in contact with them? Think about it. Is it because you've been chasing their approval in order to feel good about yourself? If you're in that situation, then that's never going to work. They're always going to be raising the bar, and you're never going to get the approval that you seek from toxic individuals. So you either have to go no contact, or you have to apply the following suggestions. If there are some people that are in this pile that you feel you can't go no contact with, right, for whatever reason, there are still some things you can do so that they don't continually drain you of your energy and cause you to feel bad about yourself. The first thing that you would have to do is stop seeking validation from them. If these people are toxic, you're not going to go to them looking for them to compliment you. You're not going to go to them looking for them to pat you on the back for something you've accomplished, or you're not going to go to them for good advice on an amazing opportunity that you have. These people don't have your best interests at heart. They're going to make sure that nothing good and happy comes in your life. So you stop seeking validation from them. When you need validation, you can either help yourself to self-validate, right? Start asking yourself, rather than how do they feel, do they like it? Start asking yourself, how do I feel? Do I like this? That would help give you the power of self-validation. Or you want to go to some people in the healthy pile. If you really need external validation, go to somebody that is a healthy person. The second thing that you would have to change if you want to keep some of these toxic people in your life, or you have to keep, I should say, because sometimes it's not a matter of want as much as it is obligation. Okay, so the second thing that you can do is show no negative emotion. In other words, if you are having a difficulty in your life, something is happening in your life that's really bringing you down, you don't want to share it with the toxic people, because they love to kick you when you're down, right? They're not going to pick you up. Misery loves company. So you refrain from sharing your struggles. You refrain from sharing your disillusions, your whatever has disheartened you, whatever heartbreak you're going through, whatever difficult situation, you'd stop sharing it with these people, expecting them to care. That's that insanity. If we know that anytime we've ever shared something like that in the past, it's only resulted in more pain, we have to change, not them, because we can't change anyone but ourselves. So we stop sharing those anything negative that's going on in our life, and any negative reactions to their bad behavior. Okay, so if they are being rude and they see you're happy, let's say you're on the phone with them and they hear your tone, you're sharing positive things, right, instead of negative things, they're going to start throwing daggers, because that's what they do. We expect that because that's how they've always been, right? When they start doing that, rather than getting upset, rather than getting angry, rather than getting sucked into a drama battle, end the conversation on a happy note. You can say something like, oh, you know what? I just realized I have to do something. I hope, you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye. And you end the conversation without any negative emotion. Because remember, toxic people, they don't care if it's positive or negative supply. If they can get you to respond in a negative way, they're happy as can be. They're feeding off of you, and you wind up feeling drained. So if you have to have contact with them, whenever something comes up where they're being rude, or they're trying to kind of squash your happiness. End the conversation in a lighthearted, kind way and completely do something else, okay? And that kind of leads me into the next tip, which is have limited contact. If there are certain individuals that you feel you have to have in your life for whatever reason, you can still limit your contact. Sometimes in small doses, it's a whole lot easier to handle them. So rather than indulging and being around them all the time, start living your life, spending more time with people that build you up as opposed to being around these individuals that tear you down. Okay, so have limited contact. The fourth tip is to recognize that they are not going to change. Okay, at some point we all have to swallow that pill, and it's really hard. It's hard to believe, especially if it's a parent, right? It's hard for us to believe that our own parent can treat us so negatively, so horribly, so abusively. It's really hard to accept that they won't change. But the problem with hoping that they change is that you're constantly striving after their approval. You're stuck in that hamster wheel where you continually get abused over and over. So at some point you have to allow history to help you to see your reality. If this is how they've been for 30, 40 years, then, rather than hope that they change, recognize that this is who they are. Stay grounded in reality and apply the other tips so that you don't get disheartened. And that kind of leads me to the last tip, which is to strengthen your identity. This year, make it about who you really are, right? So, for example, if you were raised by toxic parents, you probably have an identity of yourself that's kind of warped. You're probably seeing yourself through the eyes of your toxic parent. And somewhere along the line, we've adopted that outlook as our identity. But oftentimes, most of the time, how they view you is so far from reality. So take time this year to really get to know yourself, to shape your identity according to you, not according to the scripts that were given you as a child, right? Not according to scripts that were given to you by toxic people that didn't want you to be happy or succeed or be successful. Start strengthening that core identity so that when it is invalidated by a toxic person, it doesn't hurt the same because you know who you are. It will still hurt a little bit because we're all human. Right? So especially if it was a parent that continually says something negative to you, it's still going to hurt because you're going to think, wow, that's my mother or that's my father saying that, like, that's crazy. But it won't cause you to lose sight of who you are if you're strengthening your core identity. So I would love to hear from you guys. What are you doing this year to strengthen your core identity? What are you doing differently this year so that you can break any cycles that you've been through in the past, so that you can detox from toxic people?